Jiri Prochazka is our newly crowned light heavyweight champion, after defeating Glover Teixeira by rear naked choke in the 5th round of possibly the best light heavyweight title fight in history. After the victory, Jiri was very critical of his own performance and was analyzing things he could have done better. And while future improvements will be made, today we will be going over what we've already seen. Specifically, his odd striking style and how certain tricks he uses helps him land devastating attacks. Remember that although these techniques work for him, they are not infallible, and one must use them at the right time for them to be effective. Now with everything explained, I present the BluePrint, Jiri Prochazka. In his search for mastery, Jiri quickly realized that part of that is having the ability to fight effectively from both stances. His ability to switch both on offense and on defense causes confusion in an opponent and adds to the unpredictability his style utilizes. While moving forwards, he uses it to add power and range to strikes, and while moving backwards, he uses it to make increased distance and set up counter strikes. The elevation of Prochazka's stance switches often from a very straight and high stance to a short stance where he is squatting, while he uses the higher stance for its movement, both for gaining and losing distance. He tends to shift to a lower stance to add power and mix up his offensive options. His attacks from this lowered stance come mainly from his hips. Powerful hooks, both long and short, can hurt a man, but what makes it interesting for me is his very traditional straight hitting. Instead of using his body's rotation to build momentum, similar to a boxer, he thrusts from his foot and punches straight, almost like he's trying to go through his opponent, similar to the way you see him strike trees. He uses these low straight punches to punish his opponent both to the head and the body. His fundamentals in these moments are surprisingly specific, to the point where you can even see him drop his hips to add weight to the blow. Once these blows land, he uses the now noted attack as a feint, sometimes immediately after the attack is landed. This adds to confusion and can have devastating effects when utilized to its fullest. Whenever he has a straighter posture, his straight hitting seems to die down. However, he does add in more front kicks and jumping knees to keep an opponent on edge. Another useful tool he uses here is hand traps, and while he uses them normally just to set up one extra punch, I'm honestly just happy to see them used. While both postures have strengths and weaknesses, their main strength is the extremely awkward synergy that they have. Jiri dips and squats into his low stance, and throughout a fight, this causes an opponent to associate the dip with an oncoming attack. He uses this to turn the dip into a feint, and he does it constantly. He will do it to cause a reaction and then attack with punches, or to set up kicks from a distance, as well as the occasional jumping knee. This leads to the final tactic I will go over. Opponents already know the explosiveness and danger of Jiri, so seeing him go for a jumping knee is, in all sense, a little scary. So he will sometimes dip and then hop very lightly to feint the knee. This causes many to run themselves directly into the fence, where Jiri will close in to attack on a target who now has nowhere to back away from. I hope you enjoyed. I'm trying to put a little bit more effort into these. I'm trying to clean up the audio a little bit, make it sound a bit nicer, you know? Anyways, congrats to the new champion. Very sad Glover lost, but someone had to lose. I hope you'll have a good one.